Hey everyone, it's Adrian. Welcome back to ALTERKNIT. I literally just filmed the first segment of this video and you know, sometimes my camera turns itself off, so I went to check and I hadn't been filming at all. I think every time I do a video these days, there's some kind of audio visual frustration and it's totally all on me, I get it. So, the last time we met, I asked you guys a question, as I do these days, and the question was, I'll paraphrase it, what thing do you want me to review next? And that could have been a yarn, a pattern, it could have been a piece of kit. And I put a post up on Instagram and I was sort of very cheeky and I was like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I want the liquor needles, or however you pronounce it. I'm sorry. I think that's how you say it anyway. And you know what? Nobody suggested anything apart from the liquor needles. And it was only a couple of you. And it was like, okay, fine, I guess if that's what you want, that's what you're gonna do. Although I think somebody said, hey, I was looking at these too, so why don't you review it and let me know? Which is great, that's the whole point of this, but I was kind of hoping for more suggestions so I could look through them all. I mean, I could get this thing anyway if I wanted it, and anyway, it's fine. But that's what happened with that question. I got a different kind of question for you guys today. I'll ask at the end of the episode, and I expect answers. Okay. I do have a box to open today, and this is from Fringe Supply Co. So if you want to see what is inside this, stick around. All right, before we get into that though, I want to talk to you about my works in progress of what I've been working on. You know that I've been doing the SVENSON pullover. This is a navy blue cable sweater in the Aran style, designed by Jared Flood for Brooklyn Tweed. And I haven't actually done a single, well, maybe I've done like a few rows more since I last spoke to you. Because I've been busy with other projects, I'm going away from monogamous knitting again, and now I'm spreading the love. I've got SVENSON on the go. I just recently finished the Morse cowl, and that was a colorwork cowl for my mother. Her and my father are going overseas at the end of the year again for European winter. They'll be in Ireland, they'll be in Italy, they'll be in Switzerland, and then I think on the way home they're gonna go to Singapore or somewhere like that, which it sounds like a fantastic trip. So I kind of wanted to get that out of the way now, because even though I know it's a long way away, they still have to plan their winter wardrobes. And my mum tells me she was on a bit of a shopping spree with winter woolens and things on the weekend, because I mean, we live in Queensland. There's no need to ever own that stuff. So I'm just helping her add to the winter wardrobe. Another thing that I've got going on on the needles at the moment is actually a bit of a secret, and I can't really tell you too much about it. I know that's very annoying and not at all satisfying, and I can't even show it to you. But this is using yarn that was sent to me from a company for a review, which I'm really excited to do. I had a look into this company beforehand and I didn't know anything about them. I'd never heard of them before, but I was totally on board and I really wanted to try the yarn. And so far, it's been really enjoyable to knit with, and I can't wait to show you the finished project. It shouldn't be too much longer. I'm working on it. Things have been very busy at the moment. I haven't been knitting anywhere near as much as I want to, but that's gonna change coming up shortly. I keep pointing my finger in your face. I have to stop it, it's a bad habit. Okay, I've also got some stuff that's on its way, apart from what has already arrived that I'll show you later on. I ordered a few, I think maybe four apparently, 4 skeins of the Sweet Georgia Yarn Spun Silk Lace in one of their dark blue colorways. I don't remember the names. They have so many beautiful colors, and I flip-flopped on so many of these colors before finally settling on this dark blue one. So I can't remember the name of it exactly, but that will be on its way shortly. What was really interesting is when I ordered this yarn, it said it was on back order. And when I read the fine print and what that meant, it just meant that they actually didn't have any more of it and needed to dye it. So I guess this has been specially dyed for me, which is a really nice thought. Initially they said 4 to 6 weeks for it to be dyed, I think, or maybe 2 to 4 weeks. I'm getting it wrong probably, but actually I got a notification to say it was dyed a lot quicker than that. So that's great, and I really can't wait to see that, because it's such a big departure from what I've knit with before. I've never knit with lace weight thread, yarn, and I've never knit with silk. So that'll be interesting. All right, so the things that are planned for me. So I guess it's not planned because it's already on the needles, but that's secret project. I've also got the Setzer cowl for my father, and this is for their overseas trip. As I said, I just kind of want to get those done and dusted so that I know they're there and ready to go. And if there are any problems with it, then I have time to do a reknit or whatever. So that'll be, I guess, the next thing that I cast on. And then I have A Joyful Thread by Sylvia McFadden. Now this is when I asked you guys for suggestions for a triangle. I keep going to say shawl, not even a scarf, shawl. I can never think of the name. This wasn't, A Joyful Thread wasn't specifically requested, but somebody did say Anything by Sylvia McFadden. And I can understand why you said that, because I went and checked out her stuff and it is so good. It's right up my alley. It's my aesthetic. There's a lot of neutral and minimalism, but then there's that sort of touch of antique classic lace. It's gorgeous. And if you haven't checked out her stuff, check out her stuff on Ravelry, Sylvia McFadden. And the pattern I'm going to be knitting is A Joyful Thread, which I've put up on the screen before, but I'll show you again here. And this will be in the Sweet Georgia yarn spun silk lace in the navy blue color, whatever it is. It was really interesting. I kind of put the prospect of this shawl to my sister, and I had in my head thought, okay, I could totally see her in this vividly multicolored shawl, triangle shawl, in maybe not a chunky yarn, but not a fine yarn either. But I'll present the option of that or something a bit more classic to her. And I think Europe is getting to her because she actually went for the more neutral and classic kind of look, and I was surprised, but I'm totally on board with it because, you know, I love me some neutral, especially some blue. It's not totally neutral, but you know what I mean? Like it's not vibrant and vivid, and it's gonna go with so much stuff. So I'm really excited to cast on for that because it is a big departure for me. And also I needed new needles because I don't have any needles the same size as what's required for that project. So that's really exciting. What I haven't got on here on my little show note for today, but something that I learned about yesterday, is that there is a brand new baby coming into the family later in the year. And you know, I started that thing of knitting a baby blanket for every new baby. Well, that means I had to do my favorite thing ever practically and go on Ravelry and try and find some patterns that I really loved. And I just don't know what it is, but I was attracted to a pattern that turned out to be a Brooklyn tweed pattern. But this is by a new designer, and I'm sorry I haven't put her name here, but of course all of the information will be in the description box below. This, it's a shawl, but it's actually a pie shawl. So it's a circle shawl, and it's lace, and it's called Abra, or Abra, I don't know, I can't pronounce it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. I was concerned about the circular shape, but then I realized babies are small. You know, it doesn't have to be like a rectangle thing. You can certainly still swaddle a baby in a ring shawl. Not a ring shawl, circular shawl. So I'll pop it up here on the screen, and I'm actually going to knit it in exactly the yarn that it suggests because I think it's gorgeous and neutral, and we don't know the gender of the baby yet. Not that, you know, it needs to be blue for a boy and pink for a girl, but I'm not really feeling yellow or green or anything, and I thought, you know, it'd be really nice to make something that looks like an heirloom lace baby blanket, and that's what I'm going to be knitting. So that's now been tacked onto not the bottom of that list. The Svensons for me, so I feel like anything can get slotted in on top of that on the list, and the Svensson might take a really long time to knit, but I've got all of the yarn for it now anyway, and I don't care. I love jumping from project to project. So that's what is planned. The next thing I wrote down on my show notes for today were ideas, and this is kind of like where the creative process is going in my head, even though I've now got this long list of projects, but I'm really feeling cables at the moment, and lace, and even color work. I think that's like very, very broad, but I just think that maybe like I had my pure stockinette thing, and that's cool, and I'm definitely gonna go back to plain old stockinette, but I wanna get creative again, and I wanna be challenged again. So cables, I'm loving cables at the moment with the Svensson. I really enjoyed doing the color work. I'm doing lace at the moment, and I'm just remembering how challenging that is for my brain, and what an enriching experience that is rather than just a purely meditative experience. So those are the kinds of things that I'm vibing on at the moment. I really love classic garments, things that are kind of timeless. I appreciate inventive design, but I'm sort of a bit more interested in classic shapes and silhouettes, as well as neutral colors. Neutrals always get me, even though I tend to like knit with a bit more color than my brain wants me to. I just have the weakest of weak spots for neutral colors. So I think I'm gonna get more into that. And I've also been thinking about blankets, and that was before this baby, before I knew this baby was coming along. That's something I want to explore, but I really want to make a blanket that I don't give away, because I've made several blankets now and I've given them all away, which is fine, and I love giving stuff away, but I would love something hand knit to have on the couch for us. So I think I'll look at that. But those are big, they're commitment projects for sure. Right, so shall we get into opening up this package? We've got the Fringe Supply Co. stamp here, and it does itemize what's in the box and puts the total on here. Okay, this came really quite quickly. I think these days I'm getting so used to buying things online that I'm not rushing to the door 2 days later expecting it to be there, and that it's okay if something takes 2 weeks. The things we get used to though. Okay. It wasn't so clean this time, but I love that sound. And I really love these little craft X-Acto knives. Okay, so let's see. When we open it up, oh, that's lovely. Everything is in a calico bag that says Fringe Supply Co. So that's really cool because that can be a bag that I use as a project bag. Let's have a look. Here we are. And there's no surprise that one of the things I bought was this set of needles, this interchangeable needle set, Licker or Leica or Lick. I don't know how to say it, but I think it means be happy or make happiness, which I think is really great. And it comes in this, I think this is like a faux denim or something. It does not feel like denim, it feels beautiful. And this is my second set of interchangeable needles. So I haven't used them, I'm not gonna do a review right now, but when I've used these babies for a while, I will do a review on them. So let's open, actually, it says here we've got 12 needle pairs, 12 pairs of needle tips, ranging from US 4 or 3.5 millimeter up to US 17 or 12 millimeter. There are two 24-inch cords, 60 centimeters, two 32-inch cords, 80 centimeters, and one 40-inch, which is a 100 centimeter cord. And that's different to what's in the ADI Turbo Click system interchangeable needles. So that's kind of good. There's also two connectors versus ADI's one connector, so that you can make like, you know, a 64-inch long cord or something like that, which will actually come in real handy for when I'm doing the Arbor shawl, because I think I need a 60-inch circular for that. So I'll add the 24 and the 32 together, and that'll be close enough, because I think it's actually a 56-inch diameter anyway. All right, so there's two connectors, 4 keys. So again, this is different to the ADI. The ADI is clicking in. This is probably what, if you've got an interchangeable set, you probably are used to this already, but this screws in and then you use a little tool to sort of help tighten it so that it doesn't become unscrewed in your hand. And there are also 8 stoppers. And I may as well just show you guys all this stuff. All right, let's open it up. So we've got a, oh, what's in here? Nothing, but there could be stuff in there. You can keep things in there. And that's good for a notebook, actually. All right, have a look at these. These are made from driftwood, and they've got black metal accents, and they have black cords. It's just so aesthetically pleasing. I don't even know what it's like to use these needles, but I know what it's like to look at them, and they're beautiful. So I'm really happy. Get back up in there. It's a good range of sizes too. It's funny, when I was buying the ADIs years ago, I thought, oh no, I'm really not sure if it's gonna go up to as large of a needle size as I need. And I literally use like only these, and I've never used the higher needle, the bigger needle sizes in the ADI. So the sizes is it etched? You know, it's like laser printed on in yellow or gold, so that it's very easy to see what needle size it is. With the ADIs, I feel like it's kind of difficult because it's only like printed on in a light gray or a white onto a silver, you know, needle, and it's very hard to see, but they rub off. Okay, so just gonna pop it here for a second. We've got all of the cords, as you can see, black cords, silver accents, in the one bag, which is good. Here's a little baggie with the tools and the 2 connectors, and I love that they give you extras of these things. I know me, I'm gonna lose one of these tools. if not a connector piece. And then these are the stoppers. So how do these work? Right, so okay, basically you just stick this on top of the needle tip and your work can't fall off. So that's great, they're work savers. Let me have a look at these these cords. Don't you love when the cords come like this and then literally they'll just never be like that again, they'll constantly unravel. I mean, I could learn how they fold it and just do it again, but whatever. All right, so that cord feels pretty supple. Obviously it's new, it's going to get better as time goes on. But this is, let's see if it's easy for me to find out what length this is. It is very much not easy at all. I don't think it's even written on here. I mean, that's the 24-inch, I know that much, but it's not written on there. And I guess because it's not like the 5 different needle lengths, cord lengths that you have with the Addy, that you should probably just be able to know. But anyway. All right, so I'm gonna pop the smallest needle size on, which is a US 4 3mm. And it just screws on like so. Okay, it's going all the way down, but that's fine. These needles feel really, they actually don't feel like wood. Doesn't even sound really like, what is wood supposed to sound like? And there's a little eyelet on the silver part here. You're supposed to put the tool through and twist it so that it's like not that easy to unravel or unwind them. But there we go, Leica circular needles, interchangeable set, which is great. Always love interchangeables. So let's pop that back. There's more in the bag, not much more, but there's a little more. Who cares how it performs, right, as long as it looks good? No, I think this actually will perform good from the reviews that I've read. And what I really like, even though there's 2 things that I immediately like. These needles are much longer than the short lace tips that I have. And you can it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes to hold those needles in your hand. These are longer, they're going to be more comfortable, but they still have a very, very sharp tip. So I'm super happy about that. What else have we got in here? Yes. So there are some removable stitch markers. And I love that this comes in like the craft paper packaging. The attention to detail is very good. And these are, you may find this hard to see, but they are just, I don't think you can see this. They're removable stitch lockers and they're kind of a light bulb shape and they have, it's like a safety pin and it is basically as sharp as a safety pin as well. So they're very versatile, much more versatile than simple loop stitch markers. So I have a packet of those because I need removable ones for the joyful thread, And I also have some fixed circular needles for Leica because again, this kit doesn't go down to the sizes I need. So I have a US 0, which is a 2mm, US 1, 2.25mm, and a US 1.5, which is a 2.5mm. These needles are terrifyingly thin. And that's all I got from Fringe Supply Co. And that pretty much brings me to the end of this episode, but I do have a question for you. And it is, which designers or designer inspires you the most? Who designs knitwear that you just keep getting drawn back to and you kind of, I mean, obviously, like we know where this question's coming from. I just love Jared Flood designs as well as everyone else from Brooklyn Tweed. And I kind of find myself continually drawn back in. Who does that for you? I'm looking for new ones. So tell me who draws you in, who inspires you the most, whose aesthetic matches your aesthetic the most. Let me know in the comments below. Or over on Instagram. I'll always pop a corresponding post up on Instagram. You can check out some stuff that I put there that I don't put anywhere else. And I will read out your responses in the next podcast. So that's everything for today. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that and hearing about what's on the needles, what's going to be on the needles soon. And I will see you next time. Until then, stay cool, stay safe. Bye.